right. Thank you so much to coming to this. With everyone, say a little Robin Thede.
Oh, look, my name.
Yeah.
Tells us how to write comedy gooder.
So I'm Jesse David Fox. I'm a senior editor at Vulture. I host the Good One podcast. Robin was on a couple years ago, and afterwards I was like, this was like a sketch class, and that's essentially what you're going to see right now. So we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to have 3 sketch teams from the Pack Theater who are going to perform
I'm so excited.
one of their sketches, and Robin is going to give them notes, and then this is so exciting. How imagine they started like. And then we'll have some time at the end for audience questions about, writing comedy gooder. But so since a lot of people here are aspiring comedians, I want to start just however long you want to take.
No.
Describe how did you get started?
Well, it
You
was
started in-
1939.
Did you start in high school?
Did I what?
Did you start writing sketch in high school?
Junior high.
Junior high.
Yeah, we started. My sister and I had an old broken camcorder that we had gotten from the Goodwill or something, and it didn't have a viewfinder, so we couldn't see what we were shooting. We were just like point the camera at things. And this is before YouTube and everything, and so we would shoot like parodies.
Yeah.
And so there was a show on HBO called Pimps Up, Hose Down, and at 13 we shot Pimps Up, Bears Down, and we got in a bear suit, and I'm not sure why we thought that was appropriate at 13. So that was my first sketch, and then from there just took off. So then I went to Northwestern in Chicago, started a sketch group there called Out the Box that's still there to this day, and then got scouted by Second City, went through Second City, came out to LA. I got scouted by Mike Epps' manager and started writing for stand-up comedians, did that for like 10 years. Mike Epps, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, like all these amazing people. I never did stand-up. I know a lot of people think I did, especially after my late night show, because that was stand-up.
Yeah.
But I just wrote for a lot of stand-ups, but I really wanted to be a sketch comedian and do improv. So I did sketch shows with Affion Crockett and Jamie Foxx and David Allen Greer and all these shows that didn't really last more than a season. And I was like, oh, I really want to do like a show that leaves a legacy, like In Living Color did for me, and then finally got to do that when I sold a Black Lady sketch show back in 2018. I think we premiered in 2019. Yeah. So throughout that, I was acting. I was like the queen of failed comedy pilots that no one ever saw. So I was just writing for everyone. And then I got into late night. Before I wrote for Queen Latifah's daytime talk show, I'd written for Kevin Hart's Real Husbands of Hollywood. Then I went to be head writer at The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. And was a correspondent on that show, and White House Correspondents' Dinner, and then started The Rundown with Robin Thede, and then Black Lady Sketch Show. So, just the time has gone by so fast because I've been here doing this for like 20 years plus, but I'm still 22, which is weird.
Amazing.
How that happened.
How you're the first person who 20
Just
years still
aged backwards.
Yeah. Forwards and then backwards.
Forwards and then backwards. Right.
So, talking about a Black Lady sketch show, we have a clip, and I want to play it and then talk a little bit about your. Huh? Well, we have to get time for these other sketches.
Let's watch all 4 seasons.
Yeah. Just a marathon, and you watch it and
That'd be fun. We should do that.
Well, next year's Vulture Festival. Can you play the clip?
Oh, I miss those groups.
So that is obviously that runs through the season, but can you talk about the first conception of that and then walking through how it developed just so people understand the process?
So there's a trilogy of those sketches. There's The Last Supper, the Manger, and then The Resurrection. They all have H-E-R, like for women in the title. Because it came about because Holly Walker, this amazing writer-performer who I met at Second City. Yeah, she's incredible. I worked with her on The Nightly Show, everywhere from Second City to Nightly Show. She did Sam B. She wrote on Sketch Show. She came up with this idea that what if there were women disciples and they had to sit at the kiddie table at the Last Supper. So that was the first sketch. And then the second season we did this one, which was The Manger. So they are now Mary, who's kind of like their mean girl frenemy, is waiting. She comes over, and that's Gabrielle Dennis in the green. And she comes out and says, oh, why are you guys all the way back here? And we're like, these are the tickets you gave us. We can't even see Jesus, coming out of the cave. So then, that's Resurrection. I get Manger and Resurrection confused. Anyway, whatever. That's Resurrection. And then Manger is the third one in the final one in the series from season 4, where they get to meet the wise men who, scoop them on meeting baby Jesus first. Like, they just get screwed out of every opportunity to meet Jesus, basically. And so it's just super fun because that sketch to me is Bible accurate. Like, when Holly wrote the first one, she was very specific about making it Bible accurate. And then I wrote the second two, so I wrote Resurrection and Manger, and so followed in those same footsteps. But the characters were so well defined in Mary Magdalene being the mean girl, and Ashley's character being the one who's indignant about them not getting everything, and mine being the gossip, and Sky's being the hoe. And so, it was really fun because we would do what was on the page, and then the rest of the day was us just trying to make each other break all the time. And if you notice those sketches, I point out these in particular because they're always shot mostly in singles because we're laughing too much on the other side. But yeah, it's super fun. And then the last one we got to do with Tank, Jay Ellis, and Kel Mitchell as the three wise men. So if you have not seen The Manger, you should definitely check that one out as well. It's super fun.
So, as you mentioned there, you talked about the characters. When you think of that sketch, when we first spoke, you talked about the 3 types of sketches you do on the show, which are situations, concept, and characters. For that, is that a character-based sketch? Because to some, I think people will be like, oh, that is it can be any of the other two as well, because of it is a high concept of female disciples, but also, seemingly the joke engine is the character. So how do you think of it?
It's not. It's conceptual.
Got it.
Because all of the jokes stem from the concept that these women are getting screwed over by Jesus and the disciples. So all the jokes come from that. So yeah, basically, if you didn't understand that, but Jesse knows this really well, and is a comedy nerd like me. So we created 3 different types of sketch categories on the show to really help the writers write quickly and to really hone in on the jokes. We're going to nerd out today, right? Everybody wants to nerd out? Right. So character-driven sketches, concept-driven sketches, and situation-based sketches. What is the thing that is the most driving the comedy? Because every sketch has all 3, right? And you would think that's character-driven. It's not. Without that concept, there's no sketch, right? So what's the thing that you take away that makes it no longer a sketch, right? So for Chris, the guy character that I play, if you take him out, there's no sketch. So that's character-driven, right? And then situational. Okay, who knows the show and wants to guess what a situation? Okay, yes.
Okay,
do you know?
Yeah.
This is where the situation is what drives the comedy. Yeah. Which one? Which one? What's Boy Bye?
The one where Gabrielle is a serial killer, but she's running for office.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so that one is character. No, it's more character. Because without her, there's no sketch, I think. Unfortunately. What is that sketch called? That's Katie Campbell, who's running for city council, and she kills all of her friends, me, Tia Mowry, Nicole Thurman. She kills all of us because we're doing drugs, and you don't know why. And then at the end, she's like, hi, I'm Katie Campbell, and I'm tough on drugs. And it's like, you just killed all of your friends. No, that one's not situational. Yep.
What about the weather? The weather girl with the hair.
Oh, yeah. So, no, that's concept. That's what if the weather was about your hair, driven by your hair, than the actual weather. Okay. Go ahead. Hold on, I gotta get somebody else a chance.
Okay, what about the MASH one when you guys do the
Concept. High concept. High concept. That's where me and Sky, where Omarion is in those sketches, and I play Selena Duplass, and I meet my old 8th grade rival. And the concept is, what if you could redo a MASH game and make your life better because your life has been so bad because you lost at MASH?
What about the one where you were like the older child? What up, I'm 3.
What up, I'm 3?
Yeah.
What up, I'm 3?
Yeah.
You think, wait, what was my question? Was I asking situational? That's not situational. Without Annie, there's no sketch. No, it's concept but character, but it's not situation. No.
What about the one with Marseille as a child?
Nope, that's concept. That's concept. That's get the belt. That's what if your mother beating you was a game competition show a la American Gladiators. No, that's the concept. That's the concept. So the difference between concept and situation, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put you all out of your misery. Unless someone really thinks they know it. But
Explain the difference first.
Yes. So concept is what if. Somebody just said that. What if blank happened, right? And there's magical reality involved in it. Situation is you just walk into a courtroom and everyone happens to be black women. You know, right? That's a situation. That can really happen. So Courtroom Kiki is the prime example of a situational sketch. Without that situation, that sketch doesn't exist, right? It's not a concept. It's not something that can't happen in real life. And then character driven. Annie is tricky because it is, what if a lady who's so desperate to have a child adopts a grown ass baby and ignores the fact that. So, but I would say it's more driven by character. But I would argue, if you argued with me about concept for that, I would let you have that. Okay, makes sense? So when we see the sketches today, we're gonna try to break them down in that way too and think about what drives it. Because when you're writing comedy, when you can identify those things, so there's a bunch of things you need to identify, but format is key. Because once you understand what type of sketch you're making, all the jokes stem from there. So for Resurrection, Manger, Last Supper, right? That's concept. What if these women, blah, blah, blah. Then you go, okay, now we've got to make it Bible accurate. Now we've got to figure out who the characters are. And character is still very important. And they all need to have individual distinct gifts so that the characters don't all sound the same. I think the biggest thing, we were talking about this earlier, when I read sketches, the jokes are funny, but I can't distinguish whose character is what. You know what I mean? Because all the jokes sound the same, all the voices sound the same. So that's another layer of it as well that we'll get into.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So you're ready to hear, watch some sketches?
Yeah.
So first is Team Chow.
Yay!
Performing
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
the Jennifer Hudson Show parody.
Oh, nice. We love a good parody. Parody is also another genre. We don't do that a lot, but like 227, when we did that first season, or we don't do a ton of parody just because we would air so far out, you know? It's like, that thing's not going to be relevant.
Maybe do pastiche, but not like a one-to-one.
Right.
Welcome to the Jennifer Hudson Show. I'm your host, EGOT winner J. Hud. And today's episode is Triumphant Teens. Y'all, our guest is the first in his family to be accepted into over 75 universities across the country. Let's give it up for Derek. Woo!
Thank you, Miss Jennifer. It's a pleasure to be here today.
75 universities? That is amazing. But I hear you didn't always have it easy.
No, my mom wasn't really around much when I was younger.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
She was addicted to drugs.
She was smoking that crack, getting high.
What? Why are you singing?
Continue, baby. J. Hud is listening.
Okay. Well, my granny took us all in, but then when I was in middle school, she got sick and she was.
Derek, there's no way. No way. See what I just did?
She died.
Why, Lord, he could have took Mabel. He could have took Beth Ann or Marjorie. Geraldine didn't deserve to die.
Okay, you're just saying a bunch of old lady names. My grandma's name was Stacy.
Well, I just know Mama Stacy, if she was here, she would be so proud of you. Ain't that right, audience?
Yes, she is.
Oh, God. Don't tell me your audience sings too.
Your story is just so inspirational. What happened after that?
Well, after she passed, my middle school science teacher, Mr. Butler, adopted my siblings and I.
Let's welcome out Mr. Butler. Come on, Mr. Butler to the stage. Mr. Butler, what made you decide to take on such a big responsibility?
Well, the students were studying the scientific method in class, and Derek here found a moving hypothesis of who his biological father might be.
It sounds like your mom was fucking hella men, riding lots of dicks. She was throwing it back. Your dad could rather be him or him or you, sir, stand up. Did you fuck his mom and leave her in the streets?
Maybe I did. I used to get around. He does has my eyes.
Damon, Daquan, Derek should have that daddy around.
What kind of show is this?
And those are my siblings' names, and I'm pretty sure that guy is not my dad, and my mom is not a whore.
Oh, you don't deserve a talk show. Come on, Derek, we're getting out of here.
That was the third guest this week, y'all. Oh, well. Who wants to hear the new song off my upcoming album entitled J. Hud Be Singing?
I do.
Oh my God, so great, so funny. You come up too, come on up. Great job, you guys. Give it up for them again. So funny. Okay, so great, super fun. I love this big character. You have an amazing voice. So great. I wish I had names. What are your names? I'm not gonna remember, but just Renee. Danny. Gabe.
Ian.
Hi. I'm Robin. Okay, so I love this. I think your game is very clear with your character. And so I wish you would have done a little bit of singing right when you came out, because when you got into the game, I was like, oh, I see what the game is now. But we need to introduce it a little quicker because it's going to be such the glue that carries everything along. Other than that, I have no notes about your character. I do think, though, I guess I do have one more, that she could have built maybe physically a little more, like, because once you start singing, that's the gag all the way through. So it either needs to get more personal for him to make him reach his frustration a little more. You got there with the your mama was fucking people. Great. Nice little turn. But I think physically, right, in the space, you could have done more to heighten that character even more. Because I want to see your mama's fucking, you know what I mean? I want to see all, you could have been just all up in his face, like, because the character was so big that, like, you could do even more with that physically, right? But honestly, so fun. It's actually a really good impression. You really sound like her. So that's also excellent. We love a straight man character, but I do think, on my show, we don't believe in straight men, right? Even the straight men are, like, ridiculously that. So for me, I felt like you could have pushed his frustration even further. And when Ian popped up at the audience for no reason, it was like, don't leave that joke. I mean, you could have gone to that 8 more times and it would have been funny and heightened it every time. I was like, I don't even understand who your character. I mean, were you just an audience member? Oh, okay, all right. We're gonna go into the script, but really funny. I think your teacher character was just underutilized. I wasn't sure. We'll talk about it in the script. If it wasn't a surprise, it was a surprise, but your character didn't really seem surprised he was there. Were you supposed to be? No, Gabe, were you surprised the teacher was there?
Yeah, that was supposed to be.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it could have been more like shocking, maybe. You guys had been, in the talk show sense, I would have wanted it more to be salacious, and it just seemed like sweet. Yeah, so just maybe heighten that a little bit more, especially since you come in so late. Yeah. If you come in that late and have a smaller part, you got to make people remember it, you know? And you were more function than feature. Does that make sense? Okay, so those are my character notes. Script-wise, again, I just think you could have sung in your first little monologue because just get us there faster. Even though Derek is the straight man in the sketch, you don't have to waste a joke, right? So if he says, hi, Miss Jennifer, it's a pleasure to be here today, maybe he says, oh my God, Oprah, I've been watching you for so many years. And she's like, I'm not Oprah. You know what I mean? Right? So that way he gets jokes even as a straight man. He likes it. Okay, good. You know, Oprah, I'm so glad I made it here today. Okay, great. And then she's like, oh, no, he didn't. You know, whatever it is, right? But that way you get jokes even as the straight person because you're a sketch performer. Your job is to make people laugh. I just don't believe that straight men should ever not have jokes, right? I think it's just, otherwise, I think that was the key to our show. Even when you were the stick in the mud, you were still so funny, right? So 75 colleges, we never really got into that setup. So it could have been more for me, the 75 colleges thing never paid off. So it felt like it could have been more like, people who have, because your character is so joyful, it could have been more about like maybe people who have experienced horrible family tragedies. It's like setting it up very serious, but you're not taking it serious. And then that gives you guys more to play with too. And then you come on and you're like, it was such a tragedy. Whatever that is. My mom wasn't really around. Tell us more. She was addicted to drugs. That made me laugh. She was smoking crack. This is all great. Wait, why are you singing? Again, instead of wait, why are you singing? Maybe it's like, singing is actually how she died. You know what I mean? Like she actually died hitting a high C and she burst her aorta. You know what I mean? And just really lean into the sadness of his character to juxtapose her high comedy and her bigness, right? And he plays it super straight, like singing actually killed her, and then that way you've got the highs and the lows and the contrast, okay? Stop me if I'm going too long. Let's go to the next page. There was a song here that you did that I was like, oh my God, you missed the obvious joke. Where was it? Derek, there's no way. No way. See what I did there? No way. Okay. So instead of let's see what you did there. Okay, Derek, there's no way. No way she died. She's living without you. Right? And then you come right in on it, even though he said she died, right? Okay, I'm doing this on the spot. I've never even seen this sketch. And then, why, Lord, he could have taken Mabel. I mean, that was so funny. I was like, Geraldine was obviously not his grandmother's name. That made me laugh. You're just saying old lady name was my grandmother's name was Stacy. And then, is this another song? Maybe I don't know this Stacy song. Stacy's in heaven smiling down.
No.
So talk to me about that line, because that one confused me. I know Stacy's smiling down right now. Who wrote this?
I wrote it.
I know you did. Okay. That's why I was talking to you, because it's clearly built around your character. But okay.
Just when he mentions like my grandma's name was Stacy, like just thinking like what, she is smiling down on you.
Yeah, but Jennifer doesn't care about that. She's there to perform.
She just wanna sing.
Right. That's right. She just wants to sing. And that's the gift you've given her. You betrayed your character's conceit with that line. Because all she wants to do is sing. You didn't sing and you tried to make him feel good, which is not what you'd been doing the whole. She doesn't give a fuck about making him feel good. She's trying to sing. She has a talk show so she can sing, honey. So there you betrayed your character's conceit, right? The gift of your character is that she can make anything a song and that she's only concerned. You made her really selfish in a way that I really liked, and in a way that is not Jennifer Hudson, which made me laugh, because the best caricature to me or the best impression to me is something that takes something small about somebody and makes it their thing, which you did perfect with the singing, but then also turns something on its head. And I love the fact that the world's nicest person, Jennifer Hudson, actually doesn't give a fuck about any of these guests. That's a funny layer to me, and you were giving me that, and then that took it away, right? Okay, so yeah, she is. Don't tell me your audience. Okay, oh my God. Okay, the audience. So don't tell me your audience sings too. When you said yes, she is, I thought you were the ghost of his grandmother for a second, which also would have been funny. Baby, I'm here. Just a pitch. But otherwise, I would have changed yes, she is a little bit more like, for you to just say, I'm sure she's smiling down on you as the audience member. And then that's your bit where you're super encouraging, but singing also and trying to get on TV. But then you take that bit, right? And then, and there's also like an American Idol joke in there somewhere, probably about losing it or whatever. I don't know. Don't tell me your audience sings too. Another opportunity for you to have a great joke there. You get up and you're like, you don't even know my grandmother, But, and then your story is just so inspirational. What happened after that? Again, you've betrayed your bit at that point, right? Like, you don't care about his story, but you do care about singing more. So maybe as opposed to your story is just so inspirational, what happened after that? But like, give me some more to sing about, just something that talks about you, not him, right? As she passed my middle school. Now, this is where the middle school teacher got a little wonky for me. Let's go to the next page. Because he adopted them. He was really sweet. I think that I just would have probably done a bit more of a wonky surprise because this is such a broad sketch. Your character felt so grounded and sweet. I just wanted you to be more of a foil for the Derek character. So I'm not sure what that is off the top of my head, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, it could have been used a little bit more to heighten the sketch. You're on the last page. Everything's on fire at this point. And you came in with low energy, you know what I mean? Because that's the teacher, right? But I think you should have come in like, stop, Derek, I gotta do whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? It's really my baby. You know, and it's like, oh, he's not the father. No, you know, I don't know. That's a totally different sketch. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, at that point in your sketch, if you're not like contributing to the fire, get out, because you've got to build to that big button at the end. So yeah, I mean, the singing. Overall notes, I would say we could have built to a bigger button at the end. It felt like the first 2 pages were really good, and the last page just needs some work on building to where you want to conclude. And I think at the end, I would have wanted to see her journey, make it all about her and kick everybody else out. And maybe even the audience member gets a little too singy, and then, they got to leave too. But I think you could just build to a harder button. But the journey of it was really, really fun. And I think this is something. Are you guys performing this?
Yes.
Great. So just take that to heart. Take what feels good and throw out what doesn't. But it's really funny. There was nothing in it. But I know you're funny. So they got to use you more. Go bigger. Go even fucking bigger. Like, it's so funny. And then get some jokes. I know you can do them. And just deadpan the jokes, right? Otherwise, I don't want to waste anybody's moment on stage. But great job. So funny. I laughed the entire
Ciao.
So good.
All right, coming to the stage, Team Yuppie, performing Craigslist Bridesmaid.
All right, it's Anna's bachelorette weekend. Let's hear it. Whoop, whoop.
Our brother Finn is such a genius for bringing you into the family.
Bully for you, Anal.
It's Anna Rodna.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you thought her name was Anal?
Okay, let's start with presents. Me first. I know it's kind of weird to give your sister-in-law lingerie.
Oh my God, this is crazy. I also got Anna lingerie.
Yeah, keep bouncing.
What did you get for Anna, Rodna?
Oh, yeah, well, I figured sex stuff would be the main event for the night, so I gifted accordingly.
Is that a vibrator?
What's it covered in, Rodna?
Oh, peanut butter and honey. I swiped some packets on the way over from the diner. The vibration must have opened them up. Go ahead, just lick it up. Lick it.
No, she's not licking honey and peanut butter off of a vibrator, Rodna.
I'm confused. How did you two say you knew each other again? Or
Not important. Let's move on to games.
Okay, does seem kind of important, but okay, all right. Let's play Never Have I Ever. Okay, never have I ever given a blowjob at the ice rink.
You snitchy bitch. Okay, it was one time.
Never have I ever wrestled a snake to my own completion. Never have I ever delivered war tactics to Iraqi Republican guards via my Wanda Cosma and Desert Storm. And finally, never have I ever, yes, never have I ever eaten ricotta cheese out of a man's poop pipe that he stuffed up there from a separate sexual encounter hours earlier.
Oh, Rodna, that's not really how the game works.
Oh, okay. Let me see that.
Okay, Anna, who the hell is this woman?
Whoa, we met at church.
I'm her heart doctor.
Okay, cool. So none of that's true.
All right. She's a Craigslist bridesmaid, okay? I hired her to come to the wedding and come to this bachelorette party to make it look like I had friends.
Anna, why would you hire a stranger over Craigslist?
I didn't know what else to do. I'm kind of a dork, and I got webbed feet, and muscle control is really plaguing my genetic pool right now. Oh yeah, and I've had swine flu 3 times. And you all only hang out with me because I'm marrying your brother.
Okay, maybe it's true you are a dork, but Finn loves you, so we love you too.
I'll take it from here, Anal. I'm a bridesmaid people hire from Craigslist. In a way, we're all Craigslist bridesmaids. Everyone. Whether we're selling ourselves or telling a lie to get what we want. The important thing to remember is that we all live in this flat saucer together. So call your loved ones. Hold them close. Got any more ricotta?
Oh, Rodna, I think you should leave.
Okay, thanks, Rodna.
Okay. Oh, but wait, I have one more. Never have I ever fallen asleep in a sauna only to wake up pruner than a raisin and 3 Scandinavian triplets peeing on me so my body can absorb the salt water.
You can't.
Just me? Oh, okay.
Great. What kind of sketch was that? Absolutely. Very good. Tell me your names.
I'm Allie.
Hi.
Katie.
Bailey. So nice to meet you guys. That was so funny. Love Rodna. No, it's what a ridiculous character. Love it. She's embarrassing. She's gonna say what's on her mind. She's gonna be inappropriate and sexual and disgusting. We love it. Very clear. So for the other 3 characters, your character definitely showed us more in the confession, which I love. We learned about her. But I would have wanted a few more quirks to separate the 2 of you, because for my money, the 2 of you could have been the same person in the sketch. So, also, I think I would have wanted your character, Anna, right? Anna was your character, to speak sooner. Probably, I think it may have been more powerful, because I wasn't sure who you were. It just took a while for me to hear from you. I know it's only 3 lines, but in my mind, the first, this is a thing that we always do. So the first beginning, middle, and end of a sketch, right? Beginning, middle, twist, and end, if you can really get advanced. But the first sentence should define what your sketch is going to be tonally. Right? So is it slapstick? Is it grounded? Is it whatever? That first sentence should tell you. So for Anna's Bachelorette weekend, whoop, whoop, let's hear it, right? Okay, we established where we are and what's going on. You've established her name. But we don't really know the tone yet, but that's okay, because Rodna's going to set that. But I do think, I wish your character would have introduced it, maybe, because when you take over in the end, I'm kind of like, wait, we haven't really heard from you. Do you know what I mean? Like, thank you guys so much for throwing this Bachelorette, you guys are, the sisters of my blah, blah, blah. It's so hard because you have to establish logistics and relationship really fast, but I did think you guys did that well. It didn't feel clunky. Like, I did understand the relationships. Anal, calling her that is so funny. I don't know if I liked that you continued to call her Anal the whole time, or if you should have gone to other names as well. Anal made me laugh every time, though, so I think I did like it. Sometimes it gets old, and you're like, oh, call her other things, like aardvark. But I'm like, nope, Anal's funny every time. I am not above a blue joke, for sure. This was all great. All of this stuff was great. I think you can just use punches, right? Like, everything out of Rodna's mouth is a joke. I just want you guys to have more jokes. I want you guys to have more jokes. Let's go to the second page. Yeah, all of these Rodna monologues are great. Again, I think physically you could make them more uncomfortable. Get in their faces a little bit more. Just make them really, really hear you. There's always like, may I demonstrate? Okay, so if I'm Rodna and I'm like, you were mostly playing it here and here, but if you're like, it's just a little peanut butter on the vibrator, that's you like peanut butter on your vibrator, like it's fun. Sorry, thank you for letting me touch you inappropriately. But like, so with a character that creepy, there's no limit to what you can do. So you could appear between their legs and be like, never have I ever. You know what I mean? Just whatever. I think there's just more physical. I'm always gonna opt for more physical comedy. Again, though, like, not important. Why don't we move on to the other games? Like, lines like that can also be like, your character should be increasingly getting so anxious about being found out, right? And I didn't feel it until your speech, so I wanted to see more of the like, and you know what, to be fair, I couldn't always see your face, so I might have missed some of it, but I want to know that you are increasingly uncomfortable, because the beautiful thing about this is the mislead is that you're uncomfortable because Rodna's just being ridiculous. But that speech, I did not see coming. I didn't see that you had hired her to be your friend. I thought that was really, really great. Who wrote this? Great, of course. The character always writes. And they always leave everyone else with no jokes. But, so I have no notes for that character because they're great. I mean, this fucking sentence right here blew me away. You're very smart, and I love that. I love that shit. I am not afraid to make a joke that no one will get but 3 people who went to some weird school in Ohio. Like, I don't care. I will make a very specific joke. I don't care about people getting it. Just get up to my level. I don't care. And then seems important, but all right. This game is called Never Have I Ever. I love a good Never Have I Ever. I love a good Bachelorette sketch, a relatable situation. We met at church, and I'm her heart doctor. That's what I thought. I was going to look to see if this was dual dialogue because it was delivered separately, but it should have been at the same time, right? Okay, got it. Great. That was my note. Next page. These got a little long for me, but I think if Rodna's energy would have gotten a little more frenetic, it would have helped, but I liked Anna's speech. That didn't bother me. But then at Rodna, this point, you turn out and you repeat, I'm a bridesmaid people hire on Craigslist, which I didn't think was necessary. Or you could have said it said why, maybe, there, because I was like, oh, well, she just said that, so I didn't know that you needed to repeat it. But why are you breaking the fourth wall with this speech? Or are you talking to the rest of the bachelorette party, or what's... Oh, cool. I don't mind that. So just note spotlight in your script, right? Like, she goes into a lone spotlight and starts a monologue for no reason. You know, right? Great. So it's, let me take this one, anal. Spotlight. Okay, got it. Oh, okay. And now I understand why you're repeating it. Okay. I'm a bridesmaid. Okay, I see it. All right, just make sure that's in the script. Production-wise, that's a silly magical reality thing that can happen for no reason. You guys are doing this on stage? Yeah. And the spotlight happens? Yeah. Kills? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Okay, look, great button at the end. It's a great blackout. It's fantastic. This isn't a blackout sketch, because a blackout sketch would be shorter, but the blackout at the end is obviously a hard blackout because of the very funny speech at the end. So separate your characters a little bit more. Give yourself gifts. What are the gifts that your characters have that make them funny and that inform your lines, right? Maybe you're somebody who's constantly cold, and you're somebody that can't stand the sight of a black jumpsuit. You know what I mean? And how does that inform your lines, right? And how does that give you more to do? And then I think because it is, I just want to know that this is your bachelorette party and you are not in charge, but that it's your day to be celebrated a little bit more. And then you earn that speech that you have later. But great job. Great. Really fun.
Thanks so much, Yuppie. Yuppie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yuppies? Is that what it is? Yuppie. I love
yuppie.
Yuppie. One yuppie.
Come to the stage, Pop Witch.
Why so nervous, babe?
Well, Nora, it's because...
What are you doing? Oh my God! Are you about to move on?
Nora, I am deeply in love with you, and...
I'm sorry. I'm just a little distracted.
Oh, jeez. Was it too soon? Oh, gosh. Something told me that waiting 8 years was just way too soon to be proposing.
No. It's not too soon at all. Trust me. I'm distracted by this guy playing slap bass, so...
Oh, you mean my boy Skunky Mounted Extras?
You know this clown?
Know him? I hired him. Skunky's slap bass lines are absolutely sickening.
Yeah. Can he stop?
Hey, yo, Skunky. Hit the skids on the skirt. Cool, baby?
Sure thing, baby. Yeah, no problem.
That better, babe?
You talking to me or him?
Nora, you are so silly. That is why I fell in love with you in the first place.
Dude.
Hey, what's up?
Stop.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry, babe. Sorry about that.
Sorry, babe. I just think Skunky's slap bass lines are just absolutely rambunctious.
Yeah? It just doesn't really make any sense. I mean, if you wanted romantic background music while you proposed, why didn't you just hire a violinist?
Nora, you know you can't slap a violin.
I mean, Tom, why did I never know about this obsession you had with slap bass?
Well, that's actually a really good question. I mean, you never went with me to any of those Grand Central Park Station secret concerts featuring Victor Wooten.
You never invited me to those.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I guess I was just always really self-conscious about that sort of thing, you know? I always just assumed you were a Taylor Swift fan.
I am a Taylor Swift fan. But babe, Tay-Tay can't slap. And also, the slap bass has absolutely no context on its own. I mean, you know, maybe if the drummer played a solid 4 on the floor or something.
Nora, are you into slap bass?
I've always been afraid to say it out loud, but yes!
Yo, Skunky, it is way too soon to be playing the wedding song, baby. I haven't even popped the question.
Not bad, baby. Yeah, let me try something else, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's do this. Nora, Flea, Claiborne, will you marry me and make me the slappiest man in the world?
Oh my God, Tom, love just slapped me in the face. Of course I'll marry you.
Oh my God!
Well, goddamn, love wins once again. I'll do to the power of slap bass. And don't y'all worry, because those two, they live slappily ever after. Bye-bye.
Tell me your names.
Colleen.
Hi.
Giuseppe.
Hi.
Victor.
Oh my God, you're ridiculous. I felt like you all contributed to that script. Who wrote it? Show your face.
Victor wrote that.
And you gave yourself no line.
Yeah, I was playing slap bass the whole time.
I just wanted to play the... I literally wrote it just so I could play slap bass.
Yeah. That's usually why we write sketches. I get it. Oh my God. Okay, everyone, clearly defined characters. Everybody had jokes. Great job. You took so many turns I did not expect you to take. It was fantastic. I don't know. Please do not be offended by this. I don't know if you were trying to play him like kind of corny and weird, but it worked for me. I don't know if that was the intention. He was like, I thought he was very cool. But the awkwardness of your character really grew on me through the sketch, which I really liked. The slap bass, that joke throughout is always going to work. You know that. Don't ever tell him to stop. When you told him to stop playing and he turned around, I mean, thank God you didn't stop, but it screeched the sketch for me. I don't know. I was like, don't tell him to stop. Just tell him to like turn it down or something. I don't know. Like, what was the intention in telling him to stop?
That, I probably did just rest it so they could actually get some words out.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's a concept called resting the game. I don't believe in it. And I know that that is a thing, and some schools will teach you that, and that is fine if you believe that. He did rest the game perfectly at a point where they could get the words out, but I never had a problem hearing you guys, and your playing was escalating in a beautiful way, so unless you need the playing break, I wouldn't rest it. The resting was happening as they were learning about each other. So for him to stop, like, it just felt false for me that you hired him and you were so excited about it, and then you tell him to stop. Do you know what I mean? So that was the thing that bumped me. So Tom, why so nervous? Because Nora, and you get right on your knee. Perfect. Nora's opening line could have been a harder joke. Tom, why would you bring me to this blank? You know, something, or not why would you, because that's, you're not supposed to ask that question. But I think, you know, just something that gives you a little bit more of a hard joke. You know, I would have worn sneakers if I knew we were at a, you know, whatever. And then you getting right to it. We know the relationship immediately. In production, where do we see Skunky first? Are you always on stage, or when you guys do this on stage, how do you do it?
I think ideally I'd come on stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of partially an issue because when we are going to perform it tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Nice. Get your tickets.
Video. I got to do it with an amp because we're not going to do it through, and we're gonna figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, so just don't reveal until you're ready.
Right.
I would actually have. When did you start playing? Not when they were talking at first, right? You basically on your entrance you started playing.
It's when he starts to propose. That's usually
great.
like my cue to start playing. Yeah.
Great. So, what are you doing? Oh my God, are you about to propose? I don't feel like characters ever need to say the thing that's happening. So it's like, oh my God, you know, just like, what is, you know, that's fine. But I think the, Nora, I'm in love with you, and sorry, I'm a little distracted. Oh God, is it too soon? Something told me 8 years. What a great joke. What a great fucking joke. Was too soon to propose. It almost gets lost because we're laughing at what you're doing. But this all works. I think for me, I love that you just say, sorry, I'm a little that's so silly because anyone else would be like, what the fuck? So I love that choice for her, that she's not thrown by it because the audience is. I like when characters have the opposite reaction than the audience. That's something fun you can learn about your characters. Don't have the obvious reaction. You know, most people would be like, I'm sorry, there's a fucking man in a blonde wig playing this. And she gets there, but not in the way that you expect. Not too soon at all. I'm just distracted because of this guy playing the slap bass. Now, again, you already started saying that. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted. So there's room for a harder joke here. Playing the slap bass is a great way to end because that's always silly. But maybe just a little punch there could get it tighter. The name is ridiculous. Fun there. I think you almost, costuming wise, I would love to see this whole name on your costume just because it's a little hard to understand.
Yeah.
And so maybe a hat or something with it on there, like branding would help. You know this clown. Do you really think he's a clown? I don't know. Like, I guess so. At that point you do. And it actually is good for your turn. Because when you turn and he's like, wait, you're a fucking slap bass genius too. I love it. Let's go to the next page. Hit the skids for a skirt. Took me all the way out. I wanted more of that from your character too. I wanted more of that kind of language, you know, more of the like dude is into slap bass and that lingo, right, from your character. So that could be fun to play with. And especially talking to her that way, you know, is super funny if you've got the, you know, I don't even know what that language is, but I'm assuming you do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. More, you know, slap me 5 on the black hand side is what it was giving me. But, okay, you talking to me or him? Oh my God, that line took me out. Do you see how stuff doesn't have to be a hard joke, but because she's making these unexpected reactions, like, I'm sorry, you talking to me or him? Like that, we all laughed at that. So you don't always have to have the hard joke, but as long as you can have characters be unexpected. Dude, stop. When you say dude, stop, I thought that was a funny place for Tom to be like, if you said something that sounded like skunky, like something stop, and then he goes, no, it's skunky. You know what I mean? Like there's room for like a little bit of a joke for you there. It just doesn't make any sense. If I wanted romantic background music, the violinist, you can't slap a violin. What a great fucking joke. I really don't. This was fantastic. all of this specificity. Again, this specificity was fantastic. You're right, but I didn't invite because I was too self-conscious. I assumed yep, next page. Tay-Tay doesn't slap. I remember this line. Tay-Tay can't slap. I remember that line. I will never forget it. Nora, you into slap. I've always been afraid to say it out loud, but yes. So that's where your character could incorporate that slap-based language, right? Like I've always been afraid to slap it out loud or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That way she's fully, and now they're fully integrated into the same language, right? And it's sweet because we were like, oh, like it's actually really sweet too. They hug. Skunk begins to play. Here Comes the Bride. And again, it was a stopping moment that I wasn't crazy about. Like, I'm so into it at that point. I feel like just keep heightening. Especially now, you're not resting the game on page 3, baby. Right. We going for it. Let the train run. So, let it play Here Comes the Bride and just fucking rock out. Like, that was funny to me. And then, so I didn't think you need I'll try something else. I think you just fucking go hard and get in their space if you can. Yeah. Stage-wise, you get in their space and you're fucking slapping it as he's proposing and you're completely violating the proposal physicality, right? And then he's like, Nora, flee. What a great joke.
Claypool is also Les
so
Claypool.
good.
It's another slap bassist.
Yes. I didn't know Claypool, so that's on me. But I got the flea one. So you're slapping away to Here Comes the Bride and rocking out, and he's doing this, and you're between them. Love just slapped me in the face. Ugh, yes. I don't think you need this.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think you need the button from Skunky. I think if you're just, I love this, slap me in the face, fuck yeah, blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job. Great sketch.
Thank you.
Great sketch.
Hop Witch. Do we have mics for audience questions, or are we just shouting?
No, we have.
Cool. So we have a little bit of time for audience questions. Try to keep it somewhat to the idea of we're talking about comedy, and also try to ask a question that wouldn't just help just you, but would help everyone else here. Does anyone have any questions? I'm sure.
Great job, you guys. Seriously. Really, really, really great.
Yes, give it up for everybody before.
Great job.
But also keep your hands up when you're clapping. So we'll do here, then here, then here, then. You'll be next.
Hi. This was really cool just to see. So for a couple of people, you mentioned that the characters who were writing the sketches, their characters had the most jokes, other people needed more jokes. And in a collaborative environment, I was just wondering, which obviously you work in, if you had any advice, because if you're the actor who's asked to participate in the other sketch and your character doesn't have any jokes, you don't want to be offensive or...
Yeah.
So, what is your advice in helping build that out as a
nobody
team?
should be offended in the process of writing because it should be absolutely collaborative. But for the big problem, actually, with What Up on 3, with my character Annie, who pretends to be 3 years old but is clearly a grown person, the reason why I couldn't do that sketch for the first couple seasons was because I could not figure out who the characters were around her, and it could not just be about her. So once we figured out the games for the other characters, it became important. So how do you do that when you're writing with someone? I think you just bring that thing up. We're going to make you funnier if we also have distinct character choices and jokes. So how do you do that if you're asked to be in the sketch? Make a character choice for yourself that fits with the sketch, right? So I thought this last one was the best example of the supporting characters having just as many jokes as the big broad character in the center. And so that's a way to do it. But I mean, Marlon Wayne said this to me years ago. Like Bernie Mac said the same thing before he passed. It was you're only as funny as the people around you. So it doesn't matter. You can't be the funniest thing in the room. I never want to be the funniest thing in the room. I want everybody around me to be the funniest thing, and then I look good in the process, right? It's why I hire the people I hire, because they are good. It's like that's always going to make everyone better. But yeah, it's hard, right? Because the classic sketch setup is straight man, character with a broad, over-the-top character. But now you're starting to see, hopefully, that straight person. I love playing the straight man in a sketch. I love it. We did a sketch season 4 where I'm a podcaster, and Tamara Jade, one of our new cast members, comes in, and she's this crazy, like she does all the commercials, and she's like, "Yo, better help!" Like she's doing like the ads really wild. but I'm like, welcome to the podcast. And my character never changes, and it's just very quiet. But she's also, if you watch her in the background, she's like really enjoying being interrupted by this person. So, I still have a game too. And those are truly some of my favorite roles. So I think it's just getting out of the concept that straight man has to be boring and no jokes, and then you taking charge of your own character and saying, here's a choice I'm making. And it could be something as simple as whatever the big broad character does, you love every moment of it until the point of ecstasy, or you hate every moment until the point of, wanting to slice your wrists, whatever, right? Suicide is not funny, trigger warning. Can you do a trigger warning after? For your postscript trigger. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right.
Hello.
You're trouble.
I just first of all want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing. I saw your clip on The View earlier this year when you got.
Oh, when I bawled to Whoopi. Oh my God, you guys, that was so embarrassing. It was great. I love her. She's everything.
You are my Whoopi.
Don't make me cry. I will punch you in your face.
But seriously, you're so inspirational.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you.
And
Don't do not do this to me. I will cry so easy. Do you hear me? I will cry so fast.
I knew I was going to cry. Then you were going to be upset because you didn't want to cry.
Correct. You know me well. It's so sweet.
Yes, I actually do have a question besides just fangirling super hard right now.
Thank you.
One of the things I really love about your show is, you guys' character work is ridiculous. And so I just wanted to know from the acting side, how do you, when you get your script, how do you choose who that person's going to be? Your interpretation.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? So people don't know this. So I've talked about it a little bit, but people don't get it usually. And Robert Townsend told me I was crazy for this, and this is before Sky was on the show. We audition for the show every season, even me. So we write all the scripts. So Ashley Nicole Black was a writer, but no one else in the cast was ever a writer on the show. So they get a packet of 300 pages of sketches, and then they have a week to prepare characters for every sketch. And then we do these round robin auditions, and they're not named after me. That's just the name of the stupid thing. And we each play each of the characters in the sketch, and then we decide who fucking nailed it. And that's how we play the characters. So it starts with the writing. That's why the show's so good, because we don't write to somebody's one silly character. We write narrative sketches that we love and that we know are good, right? And we whip them into great shape, and then our actors are so good that they come in ready and go, okay, based on what I read and I gave it this and I added this layer to it. I just knew I was going to play Elisa, the head of the Coral Reefs gang. I knew. And I was like, gonna nail this. Then Gabrielle Dennis opened her fucking mouth. And I said, oh, bitch, that's you. Same with Mary Magdalene. Same with so many things. I mean, and Sky, when she came in and did Little Plea Deal, and that's a newer character, but just all these things, Ashley she came in with Invisible Spy. We knew that was her. Nobody wanted to play Dr. Hadassah, so I started doing it. Nobody wanted to do it. It was not written for me. It was not written by me or for me. Nobody else wanted to do it. And the CCC was not even in it. So what happened was I was reading the script and I couldn't turn the page fast enough. I forgot my line. Oh, I didn't forget it. I just couldn't get the page turned. So the last word was C, and then I was like, C. And they started laughing. And I said, well, it gotta laugh. It's going in the script. So a lot of the stuff just comes that way. But my cast is just, this is why I'm like, give them all Emmys, because people don't understand how it's not written. Sometimes we would write if somebody had a character. Like Gabrielle Dennis told us a hilarious story about how she was a ballet dancer and went to a hip hop audition, and then we made that into a sketch. But normally it's not that. They come in cold and get those scripts not knowing anything, and they have a week. And then we come in for 2 days, read all those 300 pages. We read every character each. And we do each sketch. Like if there's 5 characters, we do it however many times it takes for us to all read each of the characters. And then sometimes you can be like, I don't want to read that one or whatever. And then me and the head writers sit. But it's very obvious who gets what role. That is not how any other sketch show does it. And it's, torture, but yeah, it does work well because we got to fucking grind it out. And I literally would lose roles left and right, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
All right, we have time for one last question. We'll go there, sir. I think she had
Hi, my name is Diana Rochelle, and I am an amazing sketch writer. I have a question. Do you sit in post and editing and make sure that it comes out the way you practice?
Yeah, our Emmy award-winning editor,
Stephanie Philo.
For another one this year. Yes, I sit with them. I hire, so on Sketch, I did something that HBO was like, what? I hired reality show editors. Because if you watch fucking 90 Day Fiance and the Kardashians, that is the best comedy on television. And they make it out of nothing. They take footage and they make comedy out of nothing. And so I was like, that's who I want. So I hired Daisha Broadway. I hired Steph Velo. I hired Taylor Mason. I hired all these amazing editors who have reality show backgrounds, also other scripted stuff, but it was really important to me that they could make something out of nothing because we improvise a ton. And so, yes, I'm as the showrunner of Sketch Show, I was there from day one to day end. I spent 365 days a year making 6 episodes of television. So yeah, through the writer's room, through pre-production, through production, through post, through promotion. So yeah, I'm in there every day. In there every day, and I started as an editor. Actually, I was like, I have a degree in broadcast journalism, so I shot and edited. I was like a one-man band for news. Can you imagine? I got in trouble because I was in Topeka, Kansas, at an ABC affiliate, and cows broke. Like a truck of cows was loose, and I was like, if you want to know where's the beef, it's downtown. And they were like, you're fired. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna go do comedy.
Robin Thede.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
so much.
guys.
Thank you all the sketch team. Thank you all for coming to the festival.